professionals to move to Kansas City who will send their kids to day school because this is an attractive model that eventually will pay for itself because the access dollars will go towards the teachers. But the idea was that clearly there needs to be extra money raised for these teachers. We're cost saving by not having a separate back office. We don't have a separate administration. We don't have separate facilities for everything. We're paying for the same heating and cooling, right? Everything else is shared, and it's just that incremental cost, which is not insignificant, of course, but it's certainly more manageable than any alternatives. Yes?
How do those summers fit into this Jewish youth education model? Like, where do kids go to summer camp? Do they go to the same summer camps as the conservative and reform kids?
Oh, okay. So good, interesting. I don't know, because everyone kind of does different things. There's like one main trend. Broadly speaking, I would say that most of the Orthodox kids over the years have gone to Orthodox day camps. Moshava in my area, Moshava, Wisconsin. There's a camp near St. Louis that the kids went to. But there are some kids who went to, Camp Ramah or other day camps. So I think in the summers you find that they do kind of they split off more into their denominations, especially because the conservative movement has a very strong camping system. Any other questions? Yes.
For school policies, do they follow halacha or what? Like they compromise? How
In general?
Yeah.
So in general, the school policy is that for communal things, like as I said, it's a community school, so they always have to be there for everyone, right? So school policy-wise, in terms of feeding kids kosher and otherwise halachically, it will be according to halacha, right? And more the issue is kind of like within our program, are there more particular needs or issues that would arise that we may be more sensitive to, and that's something we're always working with, and a role that I have played and will continue to play as well to help figure those things out. Yes, sir.
I realize that you're a small school, but as kids get older, will co-education be a problem?
Co-education? Right, that's a good question. So it might be. We are kind of studying that right now. Because again, a lot of this, yes, someone asked before, some of it's ideologically driven and some of it's community driven, and some of it's what's appropriate, and some of it's where there's maybe some gray area, what's going to work, right? And we're kind of examining that. We very well might go to a model where Judaic studies classes are separate gender in the upper school, for example. Which might involve combining grades, but we're not sure yet, as we're only going to have a fifth grade. In fifth grade, it's going to be co-education. But good question. Yes.
Oh,
please.
I was wondering about friendships between the children who are in the Matnidim program and the children who are in the regular program. Do you find that children really just have friendships within their groups, or do they really
Right.
go across?
So
those lines?
interesting, across the spectrum. Yeah, it's really nice. And even my own kid goes to friends' house for play dates. They're very sensitive about the kosher thing. And again, like I said, not everyone wants that, right, in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But for those, and I'd say this is true really across the spectrum of where you are in the Orthodox community, that's something in Kansas City that people appreciate, right? They appreciate that they can have friendships and, really across the spectrum. So yeah. Yes.
How do you deal with the corollary question to that one of children in many community schools who aren't halakhically Jewish?
I don't know. How would we have to deal with it?
Well, do you admit them? And
So they're admitted to the day school. I actually don't know that we have a policy yet because it hasn't even been a question. Theoretically, in our program, kids would have to be halakhically Jewish, but right now it's a very self-selecting group because it's children who want to be in that program because it's an Orthodox Judaic Studies program. So it's kind of a non-issue.
Well,
But,
there is a family that I'm thinking of that's working towards conversion right now. They're working
but that's a
towards
different
Orthodox
question.
conversion.
That's
It's a
someone who's
different
working
question than
towards
that one,
conversion.
but the school admits kids who are not halakhically
Yes, the school
Jewish.
does.
yeah.
Right.
They
They have to be.
identify
They
as
do have to
Jewish,
be
the school will
Jewish
send
in the
them.
school.
You have to be Jewish.
They have to be Jewish.
Be
If they belong to
being
it.
raised Jewish or have, that consider themselves Jewish, but that's it.
Well, it's been a pleasure sharing with you this morning. I'll stick around for a few minutes after if anyone has any more particular questions, but Thank you, Rabbi Clapper, for the opportunity. It's good to come back to the Beit Midrash, and I know it's just the beginning of the summer Beit Midrash stint here, but I'm sure they'll get more fiery as the weeks go on. I look forward to answering any questions later.
Thank you very much.